to us is the hallmark of a great leader. And therefore, as Ansel said, he was the Chief Secretary from 2001. He returned in 2005, and again in 2009. I want to say to the people of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago that he will return as Chief Secretary in 2013. And if you believe the things we believe, I want you to stand and welcome the next Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, the Honorable Orville London.
A fantastic afternoon for the PNM and the people of Tobago. Let me say a pleasant good afternoon to all of you out here. Yeah. They're hearing you all over the country. Let me take the opportunity to recognize the leader of the People's National Movement and the Prime Minister in waiting, Dr. T.H.A. I'd like to recognize the chairman and other officers of the Tobago Council. I'd like to especially recognize the lady vice chairman of the People's National Movement, Senator Penelope Beckles Robinson. Of course, I would like to recognize all the parliamentarians, including our long-standing friend, Ms. Donna Cox. I'd like to, of course, recognize especially our Tobago Senator, a young lady who has made us very proud at the highest level, Senator Shamfa. And of course, I would like to recognize our candidates. And I want all of you, brothers and sisters, to understand the pride and confidence that I feel, and I believe that all of you share when you were able to look at and listen to the team that the PNM is going to send forth to take over the baton for the next phase of the development of Tobago. If you're proud and you're confident, make some noise. But before I speak about them, I would like to pay tribute to some of those who have served us before. And I want to take my hat off and to express my gratitude and appreciation for the man who nurtured me in politics, the man who advised me, the man who was my friend and my confidant. None other than the big man himself. Who is it? Mr. William Mackenzie. I'd like also to pay tribute to Mr. Albert Pilgrim, who took over the mantle from Mr. Mackenzie and served well, served with confidence, served with humility, but served with success. And I want to tell you, and the people of Buccoo Multipurpose must know that there is no community in Tobago that has done better under any other representative than Buccoo Multipurpose did under Mr. Albert. This place has been totally transformed. And one of the reasons why they're jealous and they call it concrete jungle is that they can't take the transformation that the People's National Movement has brought to this once neglected community. And that is a challenge. And I would like, brothers and sisters, all of you, to pay tribute to those individuals who will no longer be serving in the Assembly during the upcoming term. And I make reference to Assemblyman Whitney Alfred, Assemblyman Oswald Williams, and Councillor Dr. Anston London. And I want to tell all of you that these individuals were not pushed out. They were not persuaded or influenced to leave. They left voluntarily, but they left with a promise and the commitment that they will be available to continue to serve in any other capacity that Tobago needs them. And I want to take the opportunity to pay public tribute to these individuals who have served us. But brothers and sisters, they have left the PNM and they will leave the Assembly in good hands. Because what we saw this afternoon is a situation where the Tobago House of Assembly will be served in the next administration, which will be a PNM administration, by a judicious blend of youth and experience. As you know, we have the youngest ever candidate to represent any constituent, any electoral district in Mr. Ansel Dennis. But I want to also tell you that for the first time in the history of politics in Tobago, a political party can boast several candidates under 45 years old. That has never happened. So that the transition is taking place. And what the PNM is telling the people of Tobago is that we are effecting change from within the People's National Movement. We are ensuring that there's transition within the People's National Movement so that that transition can be transferred to the rest of Tobago. So you can't tell the PNM about change. The PNM is about change. And the PNM has effected change. And the PNM must be seen as the agent of change in Tobago. And if you want to really take it to the next level, I want you to compare what is happening in the People's National Movement and what is happening in the Tobago Organization of the People. I want you to compare our fresh faces with their fresh faces. I say no more about that. Compare the fresh face in Buccoo Multipurpose for the PNM with the fresh face in Buccoo Multipurpose for the T.H.A. and join your computer. Compare the fresh face in Buccoo Multipurpose for the PNM with the fresh face in Buccoo Multipurpose for the T.H.A. and join your computer. And ask yourself, which political party represents transition and which political party represents change? But I tell you, brothers and sisters, that all the candidates, regardless of their age, their sex, their geographical location, their background, they all have one thing in common. They came to the PNM table with a track record of service to the community. We don't do like others and you serve after you enter politics. To qualify to be a PNM candidate, you have to have had a track record of service. And every single one of these individuals came to the PNM table with that track record of service. Ask them about Jomo Pitt in Lambo Signal Hill. Ask them about Hayden Spencer in Goodwood, Belgrade. Ask them about Handel Records in Bethel, Mount Irving. Ask them about Tracy Davis or Celestine. Ask anybody about any one of these candidates and they will tell you they have one thing in common, regardless of whether they're in politics or the outer politics, regardless of whether it was before politics or during politics, every single one of them has a track record of service to the community. And I'm saying to you, my father was an Anglican priest, so I have a right to just leave a piece of scripture with them coming from Matthew. But whosoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whosoever desires to be first among you, let him be your slave. So what I present to you here, brothers and sisters, is a team of servant leaders. Individuals who will lead, but individuals who will serve. Individuals who will understand that you will remain their bosses regardless of the position that they hold in the assembly. And that is why I have pride and I have confidence in these people that they are going to be able to do that for the people of Tobago. But I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters, that the capacity to serve is not enough. There has to be integrity and there has to be responsibility. Because the individuals that you select on January 21st, and I want to say this slowly, those individuals are going to be responsible for somewhere in the vicinity of $10 billion of your money. And you want to understand, in a situation where you are going to place individuals in charge of $10 billion of your money, you have to have confidence in their sincerity and their integrity. And in order for you to have confidence in their integrity and their sincerity, you've got to look at their track record and you've got to look at their actions. And brothers and sisters, sometimes what the good Lord does is that He provides us with information so that we can glean from that information and make the right decision. And it is very interesting that within the last 24 hours, the Lord has provided us with information so that we, the people of Tobago, can do the evaluation and draw our own conclusions. And I refer, brothers and sisters, to a headline that appeared in today's Express. Imagine, we are seeing this afternoon, Express had information this morning. Pumpkin Cucumber Health Bill House. This is the headline. Pumpkin and Cucumber Health Bill House. Now it's not a shocking. It is described in this as a palatial home. And I normally stay out of those people's business. But when those people's business impact on the people's business, I have a right to talk, and I will talk this afternoon. And let me tell you about the house that Pumpkin built. Let me tell you about that house. And you have to put it in context, brothers and sisters. This was a gentleman who 12 years ago paid them $100,000 when he was working for $6,000 a month for land that cost $1 million. And in 12 years, he was only able to pay $20,000. I want you to listen to me carefully. In 12 years, he paid $20,000. But yet, in 2010, after his partners in the UNC get into power, suddenly, the man who could only pay $20 million in 10 years, 12 years, that man was now able to build a $4 million house in 1 year. But he didn't finish there. The man, instead of humbling himself and telling the people that this maybe I made a mistake and confess and take the consequences, he goes ahead and tells the people that the house, and this is not me saying, the reporter says the house was started in late 2010 after the People's Partnership came into power and was completed in 2011. But here they talk. I understand how to use money wisely. That's why I believe I can be Chief Secretary. I want you to analyze that. So his qualification to be Chief Secretary is to use that he can use money wisely based on this transaction. But you know what the gentleman did? The gentleman put down a $4 million house. A man who said he could use money wisely on land that doesn't belong to him. That is a man, $4 million worth of house on a piece of land worth $1 million that he only have $100,000 for. And the owner of the land say the man have no deed. So if you have no deed, you have own no house. But this is a man that is telling the people of Tobago vote for me to be Chief Secretary to manage $10 billion over the next 4 years, but to build a $4 million house on a land that doesn't belong to you, brothers and sisters. But it doesn't finish there. They asked the man, well, boss man, listen. The reporter asked him, Mr. Jack, after 10 years, you could only raise $20,000. How is it that in 1 year you could get $4 million? And what did Mr. Jack say? I plant pumpkin and cucumber. Let me tell you something. The next time I see Mr. Jack, I want some of them pumpkin plants. Because I will tell you that if I could get those pumpkin plants and sell some pumpkin so that I could raise $4 million in 1 year, all I did for the rest of my life is plant pumpkin. That's all right. He said he got a contract for $35,000 a month as a project manager. Now I taught as Jack in school. I taught him in Tobago, and I followed his career from the time he was in school to now. The only kind of training that I know he attempted was to be a lawyer. And he spent a lot of time telling people that he was a law student. And after 10 years, he's still a law student. Now, as far as I know, being a law student does not qualify you to be a project manager. So the question that was asked of the man who wants to be Chief Secretary to manage $10 million of your money is who is going to pay you $35,000 to manage their project. They asked him that, the reporter asked him that from the Express, they asked him that again on 95.5. Today, he cannot answer. So a man who wants to work for you as Chief Secretary cannot tell you, the people of Tobago, who we working for to get $35,000 a month. Why is it that he's keeping it from us? But I'll say one final thing on this. It is not going to end there, because I want to place this in context. This is an individual who has not laid out his integrity report and submitted for 2010 and 2011. And the question that we got to ask ourselves, I don't have the answer, but the question has got to be asked. Is it coincidental that he was able to raise $4 million in 2010 and 2011, and that same 2010 and 2011 was the years that he had not submitted? Because you see, the Integrity Commission operates. The Integrity Commission operates in a particular way. They don't just look at the year you submitted, they look at the previous years. So if you acquire an asset in 2010, they are going to look back to see where you got the money from and where was that money before 2010. Because when they have the money under bed, in bank, in mattress, once you have it, you have to report it. And I suspect, I might be wrong, but I suspect that Mr. Jack can't answer the question, so he decided not to submit. But as they say, time longer than twine. And eventually, what was revealed, what was hidden from the wise and prudent, will be revealed to the babes and suckers. But I want to tell the people of Tobago two things. And I'm saying it to all my people here. Nobody in the Tobago House of Assembly under my watch is going to face the court if you do not subscribe to the integrity laws of Trinidad and Tobago. No one. And secondly, your Chief Secretary and your leader will lead the way. Because I want to tell you that there are two levels. I have not only submitted my integrity forms, but I have got back from the Integrity Commission the letter confirming that we have examined your records, and as far as we are concerned, your records are clean so that you can go. That is your integrity. They call it a certificate of compliance. So where was one aspirant submitting at all? This aspirant has not only submitted, but the Integrity Commissioner said, we are going to say that you comply, and you can tell yourself and tell the world that we have nothing against you. But I'm going to go further. In order to ensure that no aspersions are cast on me by anybody, I supervise $17 billion worth of expenditure of your money. And I want to prove to you that none of that money in my pocket. So that I will, within the next month, as I promised to the people of Tobago, supply to all of Tobago and all of the country a complete record of my financial situation as we speak. And you will realize that London has much money. But I will walk away from this job when the time comes, and it is not going to be in 2030. Not with a lot of money, but with a lot of pride, and the fact that no one. So brothers and sisters, I just want you to understand what the realities are. While we move on, let me share with you. Before we came here, we had a special convention at the Buccoo Community Center. And again,